Ladies and gentlemen, will the audience please rise for the processional?
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Hobson Wildenthal, and it's my privilege to welcome all of you as we join in celebrating one of the most important occasions in the life of a university. Today, we inaugurate the new president of the University of Texas at Dallas, Dr. Richard C. Benson. Please now rise and join in the singing of our national anthem. We will be led by UT Dallas student Natara Hitchcock of Overland Park, Kansas, a McDermott Scholar majoring in Emerging Media and Communication.
Brought
Please be seated. Thank you, Matara. We are honored to have many distinguished guests with us this afternoon, including elected officials, leaders of other universities, and leaders of our University of Texas system. In particular, I wish to recognize regents of the University of Texas system, Ernest Aliceta, Sarah Martinez-Tucker, and Brenda Pejovich. Likewise, we're very pleased that our Chancellor, Bill McRaven, is here to help inaugurate President Benson. Please join me in acknowledging our gratitude for their participation in today's ceremony. In addition, it's a great pleasure to acknowledge and thank two of UT Dallas's most dedicated and effective friends. They're here with us today representing our supporters from the greater Dallas community and our 92,000 plus strong community of alumni to assist us in welcoming President Benson. Please join me in recognizing Mary McDermott Cook and Chuck Davidson. Our ceremony today includes solemn formalities, informal greetings, and examples of the myriad talents of our UT Dallas students. It will all be highlighted by President Benson's inaugural address. The UT Dallas of yesterday and today motivated Dr. Benson to accept the presidency of our dynamic, continually improving university. The UT Dallas of tomorrow will be strongly influenced by his leadership in the coming years, guided by his vision of how UT Dallas can continue its evolution into the great university envisioned by our founders. The vision of the founders. Could they really have imagined the UT Dallas of today? Imagine the results of their bold and creative generosity? Given the evidence of what they accomplished with Texas Instruments, maybe they actually could. At any rate, no one better links the days of our creation to the days of our greater tomorrow than our first speaker, Mary McDermott Cook. Mary knows UT Dallas better than almost anyone thanks to her deep, ongoing personal engagements with our students, faculty, and staff. She's also deeply knowledgeable about the dynamics of other great universities, in particular Stanford and MIT. She knows what excellence is and expects it of us, which is exactly what we want from our supporters. Please join me in welcoming Mary to the podium.
Good afternoon. This is an exciting day, and it is quite a privilege for me to be here, Dr. Benson. And Admiral, it's wonderful seeing you, sir. When my father took my mother to show her some land that he and Cecil had bought, there is no way that Mother foresaw what has become. She looked at Dad and said, "Gene, there's not a tree in sight." So welcome to the cotton fields of UTD. It was created by my father and his partners at TI because they understood that a great university was needed to grow a great country and company. I hate to put it this way, but it's a feeder school to TI and to all of the tele industry in here. But it was an amazing thing that happened. My dad died 42 years ago, even before the Eugene McDermott Library was done. My mother took up his mantle at UTD, and the beautiful campus you are on is due in great part to her vision and to her wisdom. Dr. Benson, we're really glad you're here. I'm not actually reading all that's written for me, I apologize. But this is a great institution. This has become, through the students, one of the best universities in the Texas system. This has become something that I do believe that Eugene McDermott, Cecil Green, Eric Johnson wanted it to become. It is a groundbreaking, it is one of the most exciting places to be in Dallas, and it has been a secret long enough. It is now time for us to make UTD known to the public. And Dr. Benson, that is what I am asking you to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. One huge reason that the future of UT Dallas is so promising is the large and enthusiastic community of former students that will be our heritage 20 years from now. Evidence of how important that alumni dimension will be is dramatically manifested by our next speaker, Chuck Davidson. Chuck and Nancy Davidson are both alums from 1980. Their continued dedication to supporting the rise of their alma mater has been transformative for our School of Management and for the entire future of UT Dallas as an institution. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Chuck Davidson.
It's really a pleasure to be here today for this moment as we inaugurate Dr. Richard Benson as the 5th president of UT Dallas. It's truly an exciting day for this university. Although one thing that I've learned regarding UT Dallas is that this is a university that experiences a lot of exciting days. Every time I return to the campus, I'm amazed at the growth of the university and the incredible achievements of its students and its staff. Achievements that receive not only local recognition, but now very commonly national recognition. So yes, I'm a very proud alumnus. In fact, both my wife Nancy and I are proud alumni. We met while we were students at UT Dallas, which was then referred to commonly as UTD. Graduating in 1980 was what was just mentioned. For those of you who follow the university's history, the president at the time of our attendance was Dr. Bryce Jordan, the first president of UT Dallas. So I am showing a bit of my age, I guess. While UT Dallas was much smaller when my wife and I attended, it was already showing the signs that this university was going to be something very, very special. Special in terms of growth, special in terms of quality of students, and special in terms of quality of research and education. During Dr. Jordan's 10-year term through the 70s until 1981, UT Dallas grew rapidly from around 40 students to 7,000. Yes, that's right. I had somebody check. 40 is correct. It's about the number that are sitting in the first few rows here. I was feeling like UT Dallas was a pretty big place by the time we graduated. And quite honestly, our neighbors across Floyd Road had already started to complain about the student traffic. I won't say whether I got any tickets over there. The campus was, of course, much smaller then. I was a student in the School of Management, which at that time had no physical home and no name. And the campus was pretty barren. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves at an extraordinary institution recognized for outstanding research and education, and where we are now celebrating the inauguration of our 5th president, Dr. Richard Benson. So why am I so excited? I'm excited about the future of this university. While huge accomplishments have been made over the years, I believe that the future has almost limitless possibilities. President Benson, with the support of staff, alumni, the UT system has a wide open door to even higher levels of performance and achievement. Great leadership has brought UT Dallas to where it is today, and great leadership through President Benson will continue the momentum going forward. I look forward to joining and supporting him along with more than 92,000 other alumni as he leads us to many, many more years of extraordinary achievements here at UT Dallas. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. A university exists for its students. A university is blessed insofar as its students deserve and demand the best from its faculty. UT Dallas is truly blessed by exceptional, dedicated students. It's a great pleasure now for me to introduce the third of our welcoming speakers, Akshita Padigeli, from Frisco, Texas, an accounting and finance major in the Naveen Jindal School of Management, and this year's president of the UT Dallas Student Government Association. Akshita.
Good afternoon, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak today. It is truly an honor to speak on behalf of student government and the 27,000 students that I represent during such an important day for UT Dallas history. Dr. Benson, congratulations on becoming the 5th president of the University of Texas at Dallas, and welcome to our community. At Convocation, you gave us advice on how to be great Comets. Today, you can officially call yourself a Comet. We, the students, know best what that means. As Comets, we are bright, young people who are curious and eager to learn. We seek knowledge, a diverse education, and a rigorous experience that challenges us to make the world a better place. And like you, we plan to make an impact, because that's what Comets do. As students, we walk through our campus surrounded by buildings that bear the names of those individuals who shaped UT Dallas. We are humbled by them and so thankful for those pioneers who believed in the importance of education. We have learned from them and will remember all that they have given us. But we are excited to continue moving forward and start this new chapter of our history. We hope to learn from you, Dr. Benson, how to make our great campus even better and to have the poise to meet our challenges as we enter the next chapter and beyond. Our university is at a critical time right now. As we all know, we are growing every year, showing again and again just how much students enjoy their experience at UT Dallas and how successful they are becoming. Our campus has changed so much just physically in the 3 years that I've been here. We built a new residence hall that houses 600 students, opened the doors to the Edith O'Donnell Arts and Technology Building, finished construction on the 3 new parking garages, and enhanced our beautiful campus by adding the North Mall. Our campus is no longer just a place students come to for an education. It is home. We see more and more students choosing to live on campus, actively participating in more and more activities. We see students staying out late at the plinth, exchanging ideas and making friendships that will last a lifetime. Our community at UT Dallas is tight-knit, and Dr. Benson, we are so glad you're a part of it. For 41 years, student government has successfully worked to represent our strong student voice, and I hope to continue this tradition with you, Dr. Benson. We are privileged to have you on our campus and already are excited by the energy that you bring to us. Your vigor during freshman orientation, your positive attitude during residence hall move-in, and your eagerness to meet everyone in our community has not gone unnoticed. Although UT Dallas doesn't have those beautiful Virginia trees you enjoy, We hope that you find our campus and all the students to be warm and inviting. We look forward to collaborating with you to enhance the future of our institution. And now, on behalf of student government and our entire student body, welcome to UT Dallas.
Thank you, Ashita. Now, as we prepare to move to this afternoon's main event, we invite you to enjoy a musical interlude. Performing will be Monica Liu of Plano, Texas, a junior biology major and McDermott Scholar, and Michael McVeigh of the faculty of our School of Arts and Humanities. Thank you, Monica and Michael. It's now my privilege to turn our ceremonies over to the leadership of the University of Texas System and call to the lectern Bill McRaven, our Chancellor. Chancellor McRaven.
Well, thank you very much. It is great to be here today, to be part of really what is a time-honored event celebrating the inauguration of a new president. I want to start off by thanking Hobson Wildenthal for serving so ably as our president ad interim. We were very fortunate to have a leader of Hobson's caliber to guide the university while we were conducting this search. Hobson, thank you so much for your time as ad interim and for everything else you have done. About 2 years ago, shortly after I was named chancellor, I had the opportunity to visit Mr. Peter O'Donnell, one of the UT Dallas's and the UT System's greatest friends. Peter explained to me the importance of doing whatever it took to recruit the very best faculty and researchers in our institutions. He said, "It's all about talent." I took his words to heart, perhaps more so than he intended. In putting together my own team, I immediately went out and asked David Daniel to be my deputy. Now, stealing David was probably not exactly what Peter had in mind, but I kept Peter's advice front and center when we began our search for his replacement. We needed someone who could not only keep UT Dallas on its steep upward trajectory, but to take it to an entirely new level. I'm proud to say that in finding Dick Benson, our search committee did the right job and then some. This is great news for UT Dallas, for the UT System, for the city of Dallas, and the entire DFW Metroplex. I can't overstate how important Dallas and really all North Texas is to the UT System and to me personally. What's more, this is the only metropolitan area with 3 UT System institutions, all of which are kind of crown jewels in their own right: UT Southwestern, UT Arlington, and of course UT Dallas. Now today is all about the future, about the great things that President Dick Benson is going to do for this university and this community. But to understand how we got here and where we are at this moment, we need to take a brief look back in time. One of the great blessings of working at the UT System is that we get to build on the foundations laid by all the men and women who came before us. And as Mary said, and as I like to say, we stand on the shoulder of giants. The giants in this case are Eugene McDermott, Cecil Green, and Eric Johansson, the co-founders of Texas Instrument, who in the mid-1960s had that vision. Maybe it was just a flat field with no trees, but they had that vision. And these men loved Dallas. And they understood that for the city to thrive, it would need the kind of talent, the kind of human capital that was being produced in the great universities of Boston and New York and on the West Coast. Their vision really was to create a technical and research university emphasizing science and engineering in their own hometown. It would be a place of innovation and discovery with close ties to the business community. What they envisioned is exactly what has come to pass over the last half century. As UT Dallas has grown, generation after generation of brilliant young men and women stayed right here, helping make North Texas one of the most dynamic and diverse economies in the world. But let me pause here and acknowledge the contributions of a fourth giant who was with us this afternoon. Margaret McDermott understands, as did her husband Eugene, that human creative talent expresses itself in a variety of ways, all of them important. And she has worked incredibly hard and contributed mightily over the years to make sure UTD's science and engineering focus is balanced by a deep appreciation for the arts. That balance is evident, of course, wherever you go across this great university. Margaret, thank you for joining us here today as well. So you can see from day one, the story of UT Dallas has been a story of collaboration with the business community and with the community as a whole. This relationship with Texas Instruments has evolved over time, but through thick and thin, TI has always been a special friend to the university. And TI, of course, encouraged other local enterprises to engage and support the University of Texas at Dallas as well. Now, as many of you know, since becoming chancellor, I've been preaching this idea that quantum leaps are possible when people and institutions pull together, when they really collaborate in pursuit of a common goal. Now, to some folks, that probably sounds a little grand. To them, I'd simply say, take a look at what has happened to UT Dallas over the last half century. The university has gone from really nothing but a plowed field to being on the cusp of a Tier 1 status, and with the ambition to become one of the world's truly, truly great research institutions. And in Dick Benson, we have a leader that can make that happen. He is everything that I believe UT Dallas needs. He is a world-class engineer. He is an incredible leader, having led Virginia Tech's College of Engineering through a decade of phenomenal growth and success. He is a gregarious visionary who inspires confidence in everyone he meets. He is a deep thinker with a plan for the future. And from what I've seen, he is already off to a fantastic start. In short, Dick Benson is without a doubt the president we need to lead UT Dallas to another quantum leap forward. Of course, he can't do it all alone, nor will he have to. Leading UT Dallas is a team effort, and I know one of Dick's great strengths is in his wonderful family. His wife, Leslie, and his three children, Stephanie, who cannot join us today, James and Kenny are here. Would you all please stand and be recognized? With the support of his family, the North Texas community, the UTD supporters, I know Dick is going to lead UT Dallas to unprecedented heights in the years to come. But first, we have to officially install him as our president. To do the honors, we have my friend and the University of Texas System Regent, Ernie Alisady, here today. Ernie, I'll turn the podium over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chancellor McRaven. Let me just echo what Chancellor said about the seriousness and the rigor with which we approach finding a new president. The Board of Regents was determined to get this right, and in bringing Dr. Richard Benson to UT Dallas, this phenomenal institution with so much hard-earned momentum, we've done just that. So on behalf of Paul Foster, Chairman of the UT System Board of Regents, and the entire membership of the board, I want to again offer a special welcome this afternoon to the Benson family, to Richard, his wife Leslie, to James, Kenneth, and his daughter Stephanie, who I know is watching here this afternoon. Welcome, And thanks, of course, to all the UT Dallas community, along with the faculty, staff, and students who've joined us here today. And now I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Richard Benson. Dr. Benson, by the virtue of the authority granted to me by the state of Texas and the University of Texas System Board of Regents, I, Ernest Aliceda, declare that you have duly been chosen to serve as the 5th president of the University of Texas at Dallas, are vested with the powers and privileges appertaining to that office, and are empowered to exercise them. Dr. Redmond? Emblematic of this, let me introduce Naomi Emmett, President of the Staff Council of UT Dallas, who will present you with the UT Dallas chain of office, which symbolizes the authority and the responsibility vested in the office, and you now as its caretaker. Next, to Dr. Tim Redmond, Speaker of the UT Dallas faculty, will bestow upon you the University Mace, a ceremonial staff you can carry with you at any time. But I'm told traditionally it's only carried at the head of the academic processions. President Benson, congratulations and good luck.
Thanks, everybody. Before I launch into this, I appreciate that the Chancellor didn't ask me to make my bed. But I do appreciate the kind words, so let's take it from the top. So Chancellor McRaven, Regent Aliceda, Regent Payovich, Regent Martinez-Tucker, esteemed colleagues from the UT Dallas and the UT system, and distinguished guests, thank you. Thank you, Mary McDermott Cook, Chuck Davidson, and Akshitha Patigela for your kind words of welcome. And heartfelt thanks to my wife Leslie and sons Kenny and Jimmy who are here today, and my daughter Stephanie who is watching afar. So Stephanie, hi. Thank you all for sharing this special day with me. I am deeply honored to stand before you as the 5th president of the University of Texas at Dallas. As I embark on this extraordinary journey, I am moved by the tremendous opportunity to build on the vision that was established by the Texas Instruments founders of the Graduate Research Center of the Southwest. Were they with us today, I am certain that Eugene McDermott, Cecil Green, and Eric Johnson would be delighted by what this still young university has achieved in 47 years as part of the University of Texas system. It is no small privilege to act upon their vision and follow in the footsteps of our first 4 presidents, Bryce Jordan, Robert Rutherford, Franklin Jennifer, and David Daniel. And thank you, President Rutherford, for being here today. Each of these leaders drove an ambitious agenda for advancement, and collectively they saw this university grow from a small graduate program housed in a single building to a large research university on a modern and beautiful campus. I must also tip my hat to the man who has served as our Chief Academic Officer for nearly half of the life of UTD, Executive Vice President and Provost Hobson Wildenthal. And maybe I could ask you to join me in another round of applause for our President ad interim. You may be sure that I will do everything in my power to be a worthy successor to Presidents Jordan, Rutherford, Jennifer, and Daniel, a worthy partner to Provost Wildenthal, and a worthy partner to you all. And at this point, I hope that you will permit a bit of reflection on my own path to this wonderful university. My father was a mechanical engineer, and my mother was a grade school teacher. And I suppose it only stood to reason that I would grow up to be an engineering educator. Somehow that algorithm broke down with my two younger brothers, one who became a lawyer and the other an entomologist. I'm honored that the one who deals in vermin could be with us today. In case you're wondering, that would be the entomologist. Bit of a family joke there. So thank you, and thank you, Lisa. My most recent stop was at Virginia Tech, where I was privileged to serve as the Dean of Engineering. I know that in the minds of many, my training as an engineer comes with certain built-in perceptions. Engineers are data-driven problem solvers. I like to think that is true for me. We lack an appreciation for all things artistic and beautiful. I like to think that that is not true for me. And that we are socially clumsy. Maybe. Back in February, when the University of Texas Board of Regents appointed me to lead this university, someone on social media posted this question: how will he foster relations with the arts and humanities when all of his background is STEM? A Tier 1 university should focus on all facets it offers, not just one. And to that I say, you bet. I could not agree more with the writer's call for breadth, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But also I hope to pleasantly dispel the assumption about the perceived narrowness of my life's experiences and influences. And by the way, we're being live streamed, so I hope that the person who asked the question sees this. It is true that as a boy in New Jersey, I irritated my mother by scattering erector set pieces all over the house. My early fascination with the papers on my father's desk, full of Greek letters, mysterious mathematical symbols, and intriguing Buck Rogers-style drawings, inspired me to pursue an education in engineering. That curiosity took me to Princeton, Virginia, and UC Berkeley for my education, and later to Xerox, Rochester, Penn State, and Virginia Tech for my career, and now to this technologically rich university and community. As a boy, I also developed a love for music, inspired by my mother, a fine pianist. I was a teenager better known for carrying a trumpet than a slide rule, and I can still find my way around both, by the way. My formative years at Princeton were shaped by time in the lab, but also by performing in big bands and pit orchestras. One summer, I even became a card-carrying member of ASCAP, that's the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, in order to do a summer stock production of West Side Story. Today, I enjoy all forms of music, from classical to classic rock, from bluegrass to the blues, and I also married well. My wife, Leslie, is a fine string bass player. Hi, Leslie. Another love is photography. You can't live and work in Rochester, New York, which rightly calls itself the imaging capital of the world, and not get the bug. I also love hiking. You can't live in the lush Appalachian Mountains and not respond to the allure. Today, I enjoy blending both of those hobbies of hiking and photography, and I've been on the hunt since July to find the best places in North Texas to walk and take pictures. And I've got a great new walking stick, by the way. So if any of you have some advice, I'd like to get it. Okay, enough about me. I tell these stories to illustrate how perceptions don't always paint the whole picture of a person, or for that matter, of a university. Perhaps you've heard that UT Dallas is merely a night school churning out engineers and MBAs. Looks like an industrial park with its brutalist architecture. Offers little to the artistically inclined and the lovers of arts. Lacks culture and cool. If I may quote from one of my favorite Bix Beiderbecke tunes, "Tain't so." How many of you know Bix Beiderbecke? Greatest hits of the 1920s, Paul Whiteman Orchestra. Check it out. So here's the truth about what's really happening here. We work and study on a wonderfully landscaped and inviting campus, and let me add my thanks to Margaret McDermott for this most beautiful of all gifts to our university. Thank you so much, Mrs. McDermott. Thousands more students walk down the Center Mall at noontime than at the dinner hour. On and near campus, we have a great array of housing options and dining options that make this a welcoming environment for all of those classroom experiences, the one that lead to lifelong friendships. And to my Princeton roommate, thank you, Craig, and thank you, Dolores, for more than a few memorable out-of-classroom experiences. We have a campus-wide focus on innovation and entrepreneurship that encourages new ventures and products. We have an interdisciplinary approach from academics to the design of new buildings. We have an art institute housed in a cutting-edge arts and technology building, this building. So thank you, Edith and Peter O'Donnell, for that fine gift. We have a superb faculty teaching students enrolled in more than 135 degree programs. We have an outstanding staff, every bit the equal of our talented faculty and students, and just as passionately devoted to UTD. Most important of all, UT Dallas is different by design. I would even say that the difference is our defining characteristic. We are the school where the rock stars do things like make animated films, build robots, and play chess. We are the school where the students regularly win at the national level in debate, engineering design, and the competition for business ideas. And UTD is the proud home to fine student athletes, more than a few of whom have achieved academic All-American status. For these reasons and many more that I can list here, students are choosing UTD in ever-increasing numbers. Consider this from the class of 2015. It was nice to be valued for my brain instead of my appearance for the first time in my life, where I wouldn't be ostracized for being intelligent. Nor was I alone. For once I was among peers. There are no words for how good it was to feel normal, and I found it to be plenty social. Social around ideas and research which will quantifiably make this world a better place. That suited me perfectly. Evidently, UT Dallas is suiting more and more young people in this area and across the country as well as abroad, as we have posted 9% annual enrollment gains for the better part of a decade. And we are celebrating our largest freshman class ever. Those students' SAT and ACT scores are among the highest in the state, and we have well over 100 National Merit Scholars in the entering class. Which brings me to the most basic questions of where do we go next? For starters, we will throw one terrific golden anniversary party in 2019 when we celebrate our 50th year as the University of Texas at Dallas. In anticipation, I've asked Provost Wildenthal to lead the effort to document our first half century in one readable compendium. Not to put any pressure on the good Professor Wildenthal, but the story of UTD's remarkable ascension is worthy of scholarly study. I also predict great sales in the paperback edition, driven by folks who enjoy a riveting story of daring do. No pressure. We will also spend some time looking beyond our 50th year, and yes, I'm assigning a term paper. We will prepare a new strategic plan. Our last update was in 2013, and it's starting to grow a little dated. Interestingly enough, in 2013, we tended to underestimate our eventual achievements. Like any good strategic plan, this will be broad-based with input from faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community members. We will have it completed by the end of the spring 2017 semester. I don't want to get ahead of you on what will be our collective vision and strategy, but I do have some thoughts and predictions of my own. I offer these thoughts as president, but also as one who still possesses a bit of an outsider's perspective and objectivity. Perhaps the most significant element of our next strategic plan is that it will be the first one written as a Tier 1 university rather than as an aspiring Tier 1 university. And for those in the audience who may be visiting our campus for the first time, the drive for Tier 1 status was President Daniels' brilliantly conceived and executed plan to bring UT Dallas to the highest echelon of research and educational excellence. He succeeded. You succeeded. Whether measured by our recent elevation to the highest research activity by the Carnegie classification, the soon-to-be-acquired standing in Texas as a national research university, the great demand for our graduates, UT Dallas is an impactful university. Of course, Tier 1 status is a moving target, so we will not let up in our efforts to grow as scholars and educators. We will benchmark against the best Carnegie R1 public universities, and we will act with the confidence that comes from a proven record of rapid advancement. Some elements of our strategic plan will be very familiar and time-tested. Most notably, we will continue to act upon the dream of our three Texas Instruments founders. Let me say their names again: Eugene McDermott, Cecil Green, and Eric Johnson. As an aside, we will be dedicating the Texas Instruments Plaza tomorrow on the North Mall to honor these visionaries and the continuing partnership that we have with this leading technology company. The goal of the founders was to create the MIT of the Southwest. It is a great concept, but it cannot be the whole of our vision. We need to continue to refine the distinctive identity of the University of Texas at Dallas. We will borrow good ideas, of course. I'm a best practices kind of guy. Like MIT and the other great technical institutes, we will be committed to the cutting-edge research in science, technology, engineering, and math. In other words, the STEM disciplines. I hear that MIT also has a pretty good school of management. So do we. We will take full advantage of being a part of the extraordinary University of Texas system. Like our sister academic campuses, we will offer the citizens of Texas and the world a first-rate education in a wide range of disciplines. Working with our sister medical schools, we will conduct research in fields that impact human health and well-being. Our classes will be filled with bright and hardworking students. Our teachers will be as bright and hardworking as our students, no easy task. Our outstanding staff will help make that vision of our future a reality. And we will welcome a diversity of backgrounds and viewpoints at UT Dallas and treat one another with respect. Our student body will grow more reflective of the diversity of Texas, and our faculty and staff will grow more reflective of the diversity of our student body. We will enroll students from across the United States and around the world. We will grow in global awareness from our exposure to places, from culturally rich places like Mumbai, Beijing, Monterey, and maybe even New Jersey. Hometown plug, got it. We will equally prepare the young man from Germany to take a job in Plano, just as we will prepare the young woman from Plano to take a job in Germany. Or Chicago, is it? Sorry, another inside story. Borrowing from trailblazing institutions like Virginia Tech and Penn State, we will position ourselves on the uncomfortable leading edge of pedagogical technology. We will be early adopters of new forms of communications that enhance the teaching and learning experience and which allow us to reach many new and non-traditional students. Like our entrepreneurial friends in Silicon Valley, Austin, and Boston, we will be part and parcel of the dynamic growth of our region. Here in Richardson, Texas, we are in an enviable position, literally so, to work collaboratively with our neighbors to help make the Metroplex an ever-popular destination for inventors, artists, innovators, and risk takers. And we will keep our alumni close to UT Dallas. It has often been noted that we do not have a football team. Here's something else that we do not have, an old guard. Our first freshman walked this campus a mere 26 years ago. What we do have is a relatively young and passionate alumni body, some of whom have seen UTD through the whole of its evolution. With new venues like the Davidson Gundy Alumni Center, we will keep our Comet family members connected to this evolving and impactful university. And thank you, Chuck and Nancy Davidson, for helping us with that. We will embrace the arts, put the A into STEM, and make UT Dallas a STEAM university. In our midst are numerous students who take joy from music, art, dance, and theater. Others have a passion for history, aesthetics, and great literature. Maybe they are pursuing majors in the School of Arts and Humanities or the School of Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communications, but it is more likely that they are pursuing their majors in the Jindal School of Management, the Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, the School of Behavioral and Brain Sciences, the School of Economic, Political, and Policy Sciences, the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, or the School of Interdisciplinary Studies. Regardless of their majors, our students are not one-dimensional, and we will create new venues for the broadly talented men and women who will choose UT Dallas because of the opportunity to gain an in-demand degree, all the while having the opportunity to give expression to their creativity. One of my favorite big band leaders, Glenn Miller, once said, "A band ought to have a sound all of its own. It ought to have a personality." Well, thanks to President Jordan, a musicologist, by the way, and Presidents Rutherford, Jennifer, and Daniel, UT Dallas most definitely has a sound all of its own, and we will continue to build upon that distinctive personality. For my final observation, I'd like to turn again to the founders, but this time I'm not just referring to McDermott, Green, and Johnson. As I look back on my own education, I reflect on the fact that I received my bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees from universities that were established respectively in 1746, 1819, and 1868. All great universities and all well-defined by the time that this young man walked their campuses. It is safe to say that each was little changed when I stopped walking their campuses. UT Dallas is different, however, very different. As a university, we are younger than many of the faculty and staff members who work here. We are, there you go. Sorry. We are even young. I didn't know that was a laugh line. Kind of glad it is. We're even younger than some of our students. Our oldest is 84. And what this means is that the founding of UT Dallas was not just one brilliant act of creation in the 1960s, and nor is it complete. We are still giving shape to this superb university, defining purpose and creating traditions that will last for 100 years and more. Put simply, you are founders. And it is the greatest honor of my career to have been invited onto this team. So together we will direct the comet-like arc of our success, And so, my fellow UT Dallas founders, let's have at it. Let's have some fun. Whoosh.
Thank you and congratulations, Dr. Benson. And now I'd like to welcome Matara Hitchcock back to the stage and ask that you all please rise and join us in singing the UT Dallas alma mater. Thank you again, Matara. Thank all of you for being here and celebrating with us. Will you please be seated and remain seated for a few minutes longer as the stage party and members of the processional make their way out. Afterward, please feel free to join us on Chess Plaza where Dr. Benson will be greeting guests. Thank you again.